Hey everyone, this is Thomas with Bentwood Ring Supplies, and we're back with another video showing you how we made our latest subscription box ring, Tribute. In the January 2026 Ring Maker subscription box, we have one titanium Paw-Print focus channel ring blank, 2 inlay adjuster sticks, 3 colors of mica powder, and 1 pair of tweezers, along with a 5-pack of CA glue applicators. This is actually a new style for me. I've seen some people making them, so I wanted to see what happened when I made my own. I learned some lessons, and you'll get to see them firsthand. The biggest hurdles of this particular build that I ran into were primarily introduced when I started inlaying the hair. PSA: there are many different ways to do this build, and the methods I've chosen are ones that I would likely update as I work more with these materials, so feel free to let me know any of your tried and true methods in the comments. Alright, so let's dig in. The first thing I did before applying our first layer of mica powder is paint a layer of white acrylic paint into the channel. I know for certain that I need the inlay to stay beneath our channel shoulders, so I'm taking a folded paper towel and applying some pressure as I wipe away all the excess paint from the ring. This depresses the paper towel a touch into the channel and clears away the paint from the sides up near the surface. I'm using the wet paint to adhere the mica powder, so I just pour some into the channel while trying very hard not to make a mess. Please be sure to wear some sort of mask while using mica powder, as it tends to go airborne without much effort. Once the mica powder is fully covering the paint, I tap the ring to release any excess. Wait here for the acrylic paint to fully cure before you apply thin CA. I'm using small drops and letting it fully soak in before spritzing it with Activator to fully cure it. Repeat as needed, but don't let the channel fill with CA. We have another coat of mica powder to apply. Our second coat of mica powder is applied over the top of the original. My goal here was to have a sort of gradient effect. You can see how well that went. But I started by trying to get it into the channel the same way as the first coat of mica powder, but I instantly realized it would get better results if I used a paintbrush. So that's what I did. I brushed it over enough to wish I had used a lot less of it. Use the same process here as last time when applying CA. We just want to wet it and let the CA run through the powder without overdoing it. Repeat as needed, but pull away any excess with a paper towel. This should be enough for us to go ahead and move on to the next step. Next, I'm working on the Paw-Print, where I'll be repeating the same attempt at a gradient effect in the bottom and only using blue mica powder in the toes. I want to ensure that I have as close to a flat surface as possible for when I inlay the hair. So this is where my efforts really start to fall apart. I've plucked a few choice hairs from my Great Dane, Roxi, and I'm trying to organize them in a way that lets me cut the ends off, and I've immediately left them way too long. I'll find this out later, though. I should have made them about half the size that these are. Alright, so now that we've hacked our way through that part, let's move to the next where I try and fail to get individual hairs into the channel. I'm coating the inside of the channel with some tacky glue that I'm hoping will let me settle the hairs down in there while also sort of keeping them in place while I situate them. It works, but I really wish I had used a pair of tweezers. I have regrets. This is the point I realize that my expectations aren't exactly taking form, and reality has me trying to get the individual hairs unstuck from my tool without much success. Eventually I find a rhythm, and I'm getting the hairs in the channel a bit easier. I've found that I can place the hair, add the smallest amount of CA glue that I can, and then situate the hair before it cures. It's working well enough. I will admit, though, that my confidence is fading, and perhaps I should have made another one of these before committing to film. But in this case, powering through is really going to make a difference. So let's just be patient. Now that all of the hairs have been placed in the channel, it's time to put a few into the paw print. My goal is to have 2 of them crossing each other in the center. So here we are, my old friend, finish application. We've shown it so many times already, and I'll likely film it hundreds more. It's equally important to the design itself, as well as sanding and polishing out those pesky scratches. Your finish coat is the window, your design is the scenery outside, and your polish is how clearly the light lets through. Combine all 3 and you've got something special. And this ring, she's something special. Our finish application takes forever as usual, so I've sped up the video to around 4 times normal speed. We add thin coats of Mercury Thin Flex CA and coax it into curing with our Mercury Activator. I try not to use a lot because we don't want the CA to cure hot. Thin layers and just a touch of Activator are the way. Repeat after each new layer has cured until the finish is sitting proud of the surface of the ring and fully cured. Lastly, we are here again at our lathe for sanding and polishing. the final process of this build, but not by any means the least. We gently coax out the polish of our CA finish and our titanium band at the same time. Starting with 120 or 240 grit sandpaper, depending on how much material you want to remove and how quickly, we will work our way through the progressive grits of sandpaper, stopping at 400 grit, where we will ensure that there is no more CA on the outside of the ring. Take your time here because we don't want to have any scratches left over from the previous grits of sandpaper. Polishing follows up sanding. I like to use Zona paper since it's flexible. I'll use a paper cutter to break down the sheets into finger-sized strips that will work for a few rings before needing to be replaced. It starts at 600 grit and ends around 22,000 grit. Again, take your time. A proper polish can't be rushed. Keep the papers moving so no grooves are formed, and work through each sheet progressively. Lastly, and this part is optional depending on your preference, I like to use some of our diamond polishing paste up to the final 3 grits and go over the entire outside of the ring. This will homogenize the finish across the metal and the CA finish, and for me it really just brings everything together. And there you have it, this ring is done. It's a tribute to my favorite dog in the world, Roxi, who is still with us. Thanks so much for sticking around, and if you want to join us in making this ring and others, check us out at bentwoodringsupplies.com. Lastly, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more ring making content. And as always, thank you so much for your support. I will see you in the next one.